What's up, everybody? We are jumping back into our previous conversation. This is part two. Me and my boy Mike talking about life, liberty, and the pursuit of fitness. Let's dive right into it.
Are you thinking about making a podcast? Spotify has a platform that lets you make one, and if I can figure it out, you definitely can too. You can create your own content all in one place for free with zero hangups and even earn money as soon as you get started. Spotify lets you record and edit episodes from your phone or computer so you can go mobile, just like I enjoy to do. My favorite thing about it is that you can create video episodes if you wish and upload them to wherever podcasts are heard. You can even set up subscriptions, or if you're like me, listener support options for listeners to help you grow. I 10 out of 10 recommend the Spotify for Podcasters app. Or, why don't you just step over to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your own podcast.
Yeah, man. Dopamine is a huge part for me. It's a great release for your brain. It has such a huge effect on just your mentality, your psyche, just how you go on throughout your day. When you have a release of dopamine, you have a better mood, you walk with a pep in your step, and it's really, really important for everybody to find their own way of releasing dopamine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's, I've discovered that with jiu-jitsu. I know the feeling from the gym, but I never got that, not really that high, but that wanting. And after I left, I just keep on thinking about it, and I want to go back, and it's just really awesome. And I know you love the gym. And jiu-jitsu is just my activity that gets my dopamine flowing, and I love it. It's a alternative to my antidepressants. I'm not going to really say an alternative, but if I go through that case again of, going a few days without him, thanks VA, dude, jiu-jitsu, and it really helps with the depression. And I know that is, you love the gym and you love fitness, and I see that a lot.
Yeah, brother.
So that's definitely really awesome.
Yeah, I use a lot of different things to combat depression because, unfortunately, my mom, I wouldn't say she's not insane or anything like that, but she definitely has different ways of coping with stress, and it's been a stressful couple of years from her. When I was in the Navy, my dad died, and then now her boyfriend died just a couple months ago of coronavirus, which is really shitty.
Yeah, you told me that.
But she has her way of dealing with things, which is just working and working and working, or pretending to be happy. And I tend to deal with my emotions when they're negative in a I will try to say more of a physical way. Instead of getting mad and punching shit like some people do things in a physical way, or I try to do something that's makes me, makes my heart rate go up, release that dopamine. I lift weights heavier, I lift weights harder, I really focus more. And that's why I love this whole long drawn out fitness thing that is bodybuilding, because it is a sport it's not a sport for the faint hearted. And a lot of people get into it not knowing what it's about. It's not about steroids. It's not about looking buff or whatever. It's about fitting a certain category thing that they're looking for. And a lot of people don't really get that, even though they're in the sport at an amateur level. But when you get to the national competitors, you get to the people who've been competing for a long time, they really got it dialed in that you have to be this perfect version that the judges are looking for. Not what you like. It doesn't look good. No one's gonna look at the mirror and be like, oh God, 3% body fat, I feel fucking awesome. You feel like shit. You look like a piece of muscle because they're judging your muscle for bodybuilding. So for me, it's this long, slow knife that's stabbing depression and anxiety and whatever else could possibly be a factor of negativity in my my mental health, right in the back. And eventually they start bleeding out that dark blood, and I feel great. I feel great when I find that the end of my show and I've won my trophies, and I go home and they're like, you're qualified for nationals again. And I'm like, yep, well, maybe in a year when I'm top tier, I can step up there on stage and compete. Maybe we'll see if I get a pro card or something. But for me, it's always been about finding what I want to look like in the mirror. In my off season, I achieved that, and then I chiseled up for a show. And maybe doing shows isn't for me, but I have fun, and I win. I win, so I'm happy.
Dude. That's awesome. Also,
Yeah.
What did you mean by that? You feel like shit with 3% body fat?
Oh, so dude. So when you get like closer to a show and you're doing like a bunch of cardio, your calories are low, you're going to feel your body basically, I would describe it as it goes back to its basic resource, the normal human functions. You might be moody and not even notice it. You might be sad, tired all the time, low energy.
Okay.
You don't have a lot of fat on your body, and your body needs fat to function normally, but not too much fat, because then like obesity is a real thing. The more
And
fat
I
you
was
have
going to
on,
ask you about that also. I was going to ask you about that,
oh,
following up that.
dude, I'll keep it completely real. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I was like, okay, how do you feel like shit with 3% body fat? That
Oh
should
man.
feel amazing though, to have not that much body fat and just be in such good shape to where, you don't bounce around. But
Well, you would think, but unfortunately, uh, it's I describe it a lot, and I can compare it pretty easily by saying that any extreme is not good. It's not good to be extremely right leaning in politics or left leaning in politics. It's not good to be extreme with eating a lot of like ice cream, but it's not good to eat no sugar as well. Depending on who you ask, there's a lot of different speculations. It's not good to eat too much meat and not enough veggies, but it's not good to eat too much veggies and not enough meat. There's certain things that your body naturally wants. A lot of people are doing the whole vegan thing, and I think it's great. I'm not an expert on eating vegan. I'm not an expert on being a vegetarian. I support all avenues of finding the perfect version of you, other than doing meth. That's one thing I don't really support. Like, yeah, and that in any moderation is not good. Don't do that shit. But a lot of people are looking to get their perfect version of themselves. I don't agree with children being obese. I don't agree with adults being obese, and I don't look at it like a standard of what the world sees as obese. I say, hey, if you're having difficulty going upstairs and you start breathing hard, there's a problem there. Do some fucking cardio. Make sure your heart can support the weight that you're carrying around with it. If you're like Lizzo, people always say Lizzo's fat and shit. Do you know how hard it is to dance for multiple hours on stage and play the flute and sing? She's in great shape. She's in great, like, that's a huge thing. Now personally, I don't want to look like that, but am I going to judge her? As long as someone's in what would be considered good health, like her doctors say she is, I'm not going to sit there and judge anybody. People bully people that don't need to be bullied. And I think fat shaming can be used in some forms in a positive way, but there's a big difference between saying, hey, I really care about you and I don't want you to look obese. Or I don't want you to be, it's not looking, it's being obese, because fat surrounds your organs, and heart disease is the #1 killer in America.
Yep.
Right? And then like it's a real thing. There's 46, I think 2 years ago, the numbers were 46% of people over the age of like 27. They didn't even get to 30, 27. Like, that's my age. We're morbidly obese and will have heart issues if they don't take corrective action. I'm not saying that I don't fuck up some McDonald's from time to time, because I definitely do, man. But you have to take a look at yourself and say in the mirror, do I like what I see? If not, do something about it. And I encourage people to do that. I always give free fitness advice. I always try to direct people in the right direction. If you're trying to get in shape for a bodybuilding show, I have a guy that can do that. And he has coaches, he has like clients that are in different states. He has, hopefully pretty soon, he goes international. It's my goal for him. But he's my bodybuilding coach, and I've known him for a couple of years, and he's a great guy, and he takes good care of me. There's a lot of false prophets out there to look out for anyone that wants to get into bodybuilding. But it's like you said, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a great way to invoke discipline in your life, and self-discipline is self-love. So when you go into your gi, is it called, what you put on your gi, right? And you go and you learn from your instructor. You spend a lot of time on your knees in like this and you start in the listening position. I don't know what it's called. They call it different things in different martial arts. The ones I've studied, they call it the listening position. So you stand, you sit on your knees, you sit on your heels and you're on your knees, and you just look at the instructor, and you don't say a fucking word unless you have a question. And you learn, and then you practice it, and then you practice it. And next thing you know, you're not getting beat up by those bullies so easily. So that was great for me, knowing martial arts. And I think it's really cool what you're doing now. How many days have you been doing jiu-jitsu for now?
Only 5.
That's well, but you could say it's only 5. I said that's 5 that I haven't done. I look forward to doing BJJ in the future, because it's what better sport is there? what better
It's
way of discipline is there? It's great. It's a life skill, and it will save your life. It can and will save your life. I've seen it happen in front of me. I've seen a cop retain his weapon from somebody who really wanted to get it, and I was impressed. I was impressed, dude. Yeah.
I felt like I wanted to throw up the first day. Like after I was done with that, I was like, "Hey, thank you for allowing me in here. Thank you for the prices and your schedules for beginners and advanced and stuff." And I had to get out to the car, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I had to go lay down, or else I was gonna like throw up when I got home. And then it has been slowly getting easier, but when I'm away from it, I'm still thinking about it, and like I want to go back and learn more, and I want to feel tired because it feels great the next day. Like I love that pain in your body that you get from your muscles trying to not recoup but regenerate, but like heal themselves.
Yeah, because when you're working out, you're like, are you guys doing ground and pound too, or just rolling?
Oh, we're just rolling.
Yeah, so there's a lot of important things that get taught, like between martial arts and between just common street fighters on the streets and shit like that. And I think the most important is knowing when not to punch somebody and when not to land on your spine in a bad way and things like that, because a lot of street fights are in the concrete. And
that's a lot of people, fail to know that or fail to see that and stuff. Now, granted, I would love to incorporate striking with that, but my instructor, Rafael Famigo Barbosa, who's a very big champion.
Yeah, I've heard that name. You're in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard it.
He used to be up in what was it? Not Connecticut, somewhere up northeast. But he came from Brazil originally, and he's got that accent. But he's a champion. I have to look at what titles he has, but you go there and look at the wall, and he's got his medals, he's got belts and stuff. He's actually got a fight coming up next Saturday at the Bomb Factory, which I'm actually excited to go to. But he doesn't teach striking. He's traditional Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I am so glad that he's my instructor. And
sounds like he's a great person to look up to, man.
Dude, he's definitely awesome, and I'm excited to go there every day. But yeah, and then I was gonna follow up with the 3% body fat, and then you and your shows and stuff, how incredible that is. What is your opinion about this? It's not fat phobia, but it's the anti-fat phobia or anti-body shaming. Hang on.
God.
I'm looking at it right now.
Is it for skinny people or is it for fat people? And is it to not call them skinny or fat, or is it, which one is it?
They're embracing their obesity.
Fat acceptance.
Yes.
Oh God, how do I say this in the best way I can describe it? Because I don't want to sound wrong about it. Because at the end of the day, I try my best not to judge other people, and I want to always be that. I don't agree with people telling other people how to look, so I'm not going to say it myself. But I will say this: if you have issues walking upstairs, you really need to rethink something. Other than that, if you love yourself and you're not trying to it's very extreme to take yourself down to 3% body fat. Dude, honestly, your sex, my sex drive was non-existent for a whole month, and I freaked the fuck out because your body's on your body's on basically running on fumes. That's the best way I could say it.
Damn.
I had to take my last week off of work because I was not as cognitive as I'd like to be. Right. And
shit.
That's just how it goes. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
You will get headaches when you when you pull water right before your show, you will get headaches and all these things. That's extreme. That is an extreme way of living. Extreme way of thinking. The average person, if you want to look how you look in the mirror, I think that's a goal. I think if you don't like what you don't like what you see in the mirror, you need to do something about it, and don't talk about it. Be about it, because there's plenty of resources out there. There's so much free information on the YouTube. People just wanting to get their name out there. they will lecture you for hours on how easy it is to change your body, regardless if you have a blood disorder, regardless if you have a disease. People use a lot of things as crutches. There's a couple things that are not easy to use as crutches, and there are really serious issues like cancer and shit. Like those are serious things, right? But a lot of people say, oh, well, blah blah. I can't diet because of this. Like it's too hard, or maybe next year. Okay, well then don't do it. But don't make excuses. I run into so many people, and I try not to sound jaded when I'm saying this. There's a lot of people out there who talk about it and they're just not about it. I've gone through 365 days of 364, sorry, that I took one day off of dieting because I didn't win first at my bodybuilding show, and I was upset. The overall trophy, and I did it for another year, and I came in right. I looked spot on. There's a lot of things I could do better as far as posing and as far as coming in bigger, I guess, but that takes time, right? No one should do anything that doesn't make them happy. And I tell people this all the time. So if you're looking at your body and you're saying, I love myself, or just you're saying, I love myself just to be accepted, you need to change the circle around you and stop trying to normalize being unhealthy. Bodybuilding is not healthy. Bodybuilding is to look a certain way. If your body's in its prime condition, you're going to have a little bit of fat on you. You're going to feel comfortable. You're going to have to say, I love the little piece of fat on me. It's just normal. But if you're in great shape, you're exercising, you found your discipline, you're moving, whether it's jazzercise, biking 10 miles, running 10 miles, bodybuilding, jujitsu, swimming, diving, whatever you're doing, get out there and get physical, because there's a whole amount of life that lives beyond our cell phones. And I really hate looking at the new age of kids. They're growing up. They fucking they don't know how to do shit. You don't know how to rollerblade. Like I saw this Instagram video and it made me cry almost, because this person at almost at my age just learned how to fucking rollerblade. People don't know how to ride a bike. There's kids that don't know how to how many circles it takes around a track to run a mile, because they're littling down these things in the schools and they're telling you it's okay to be unhealthy. There's so many obese kids. And that is horrible for your body to develop when you're overweight, and your joints are not going to, properly be ready to go. Your back, if you have a belly on you as a child, your back is going to develop differently. As you grow, your body's going to naturally develop back problems. It's the same. You can say the same thing about a girl with larger breasts. Back issues are going to show up if you don't take care of there's ways to take care. You're going to need to see the chiropractor more, probably. From my experience with this, I'm just speaking from my experience. I'm not an expert, of course, so don't at me, motherfuckers. But we really can't. It's really a tough question, man, because I can't sit here and say that you shouldn't look a certain way, and I don't want anybody else to. But I can sit here and say I care about everybody, and I don't want them to let their body go to shit, because they will reap those benefits. And the bodybuilding community is not a nice place. In certain place, they will tell you, hey man, why you say you're on a diet, why are you sitting there fucking, I saw you cheating on Instagram, I saw you on Snapchat, whatever the fuck, and they'll call you out and they'll cuss you out because they care about you so much. And I think that is missing from society. I'm never going to let my kid get obese ever. Get me fucked up, because I refuse to allow that. Right. So.
No. Hell, I want my kids to be healthy, but I'm talking more on a health side. There's people out there that are accepting obesity and saying it's healthy now, and it's
they've lost their mind. It's insanity. That's like saying any criminal will follow any law put out. They're there to break the fucking law, And this is a completely different comparison on the spectrum, but it is still a valid comparison. You can't sit there and say that it's healthy to have too much fat on you, or have a fatty heart, fatty livers, all these things. It's not healthy. Just like it's not healthy to ingest a lot of alcohol. Your liver's going to reap the benefits of that. Just like it's not good for you to drink a fuck ton I drink an energy drink a week, if that. And I don't even drink coffee anymore because I had a heart incident out of nowhere. I had a heart murmur or some weird shit, right? I took a serious look at my health, and I don't want my heart to be in bad shape. So I do cardio. Even when I'm bulking, I do cardio, and it's really difficult for bodybuilding. I have to eat a lot more food than the average person who's skinny going to fit, and it's really tough, but that's the name of the game. I care about my health. You have to really put your health first, and telling somebody that it's okay to be overweight or oh, yeah, blah blah. You look great when you're physically putting on more fat on your body. We got to really take a look at this. Are we more worried about people's feelings than we worry about them having a heart attack?
There's a lot of people out there that are worried about feelings. It's insane.
And I care about people's emotions. But your feelings, fuck your feelings. I care about your emotions. I care about are you in love? Let's find out why not. Are you depressed? Let's fix that. Are you always happy? Are you in a healthy mind state where you don't want to hurt other people at a store? Like these things are that's what we should be focusing on. We should be focusing on, oh, it's okay to be overweight and have like degenerative issues with your body. That's not okay, because I care about you that much. And I'll tell my family members this, like, I fucking do not want you to reap the benefits of issues. And especially in the Black community, a lot of people like to focus on things that have nothing to do with what a real issue is in the Black community. And one thing that is a serious issue is our health. We eat, as great as it is to eat Southern cooked food or Southern style food, there's a certain point where you got to look at your health. We got people aging faster and faster because their bodies are falling apart faster and faster. We're in the age of information, and there's no reason why we should be so focused on feelings that we ignore information. Like, I don't know how people can look at any situation like that. So when you talk about people that are obese, morbidly obese, concerning, like, there should be no TV show called My 400-Pound Life. There should be a TV show called How I Lost 100 Pounds, because I can tell you and I can show you, if you flew up here right now, I could bring you to the house of 10 people that I know who have lost over 100 pounds, and you will not like, you gotta feel this energy around these people, man. It's amazing, because they know they almost died, all of them.
That's what the 600-Pound Life show on TLC is. It's about them wanting to change. They go down to Houston to talk to Dr. Now, and he puts them on a 1,200 calorie a day diet of high protein, low
carbs.
Yeah. And some of them struggle to stay with that diet. Some of them lose weight. He wants them to lose like 50 pounds a month, roughly. Some of them make it and some of them don't, dude. And it's really, those struggles are real. But the ones that, like I'm saying, like, I sent you a link to one of these pictures, like the Cosmopolitan, This Is Healthy. Like, okay, she's flexible, but how are her organs? In the Zoom chat meet.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I'll take a look at it right now.
Like, I almost feel like I'm not, I'm chubby. I'm not a fitness expert. But I've started changing that. I've stayed away from sugars. Don't have treats.
Yeah, sugar is a huge killer of testosterone.
Oh yeah,
it's our life force, bro. I mean, we got to talk about roid rage too. I'm gonna tell you a story about that. It's really funny.
Oh shit. But
I saw the link you sent me. I don't think, like I said, I don't judge people's body. I care, but I care about everybody. I don't think it's good for people's. Is it healthy? Maybe to the experts at Cosmo, or maybe to some expert anywhere else. I'm gonna say this. Let's wait 20 years and let's make sure it's still healthy. And then I'm not looking to be convinced. I'm not anybody special, but I think that if this is a way of being healthy, then let's explore that avenue. I'm not a closed-minded fuck, but we should really take a look at this. That's like saying that the coronavirus is the vaccine was a great idea and we should give it to everybody. I know people whose mom dropped dead the week after she got a bunch of red dots on her and died because she had an adverse reaction. Everybody has different reactions to different things. You can't, it's like broad stroking everybody. You can't say that all white people are racist. You can't say all black people are hoodlums. You can't say all Mexican people are, what are they saying on the news that Trump said? What was it? They're all rapists and shit, right? I know a bunch of people who I know, like, you can't broad stroke society. It doesn't work like that. So I'm not going to sit here and say that is not healthy. To me, it's not healthy. To me, I would not be okay like that. I would not. I would. I don't. And I also don't agree. I also don't think that any child should have to deal with being bullied because he's fat, and that relies, solely on the parents. If you get
Yeah.
called fat at school, if your child gets fat at school, you need to take a serious look at how you're parenting your child, what you're feeding them. It's very simple. It's not expensive to diet. Chicken rice and green beans is cheap as fuck. And I tell you this because I'm eating 3.5 pounds of chicken, 13 cups of rice, 2 bananas, and green beans every day. It's the cheapest way I'm dieting.
13 cups of rice?
Yeah, and we're about to go up. It's white rice.
Holy
yeah. Cooked though, not uncooked. Because if it was uncooked, I just might have.
No, I know that. I know that. That's like fucking Navy style uncooked. But you see how, society has geared everything to, you can go get a Coke a whole lot cheaper than a bottle of water.
Absolutely.
Or you can go get a fucking Big Mac and a whole lot cheaper than going to a restaurant and having a fucking $14 salad.
Yeah.
It's like,
I tell people when they say that.
Are expensive.
Absolutely. So I hear that a lot. What I tell people is there's always going to be corporate politics about like, oh, well, we're going to lower our prices. You put this in this store. Everybody's making drug deals with other companies, shaking hands, whatever. My way around that, I go to a Kroger or a Safeway, Albertsons. I don't know what you guys have down there. Basically, your cheap ass grocery store where they have, like, if you have like an Advantage card, you get everything's like the yellow price instead of the black and white price tags, like $1 off everything. So I'll go and get one of those 1 gallon water bottles and I'll reuse it for 4 days. And holy shit, I don't have to buy a water bottle that costs more than the one. It's like 99 cents for one of them, right? Just get some cheap ass water, right? And I'll refill it. I'll put electrolytes in it. I'll put whatever I want, BCAAs, amino acids, to things that help your body get rid of fat and maintain your muscle, even if you're off on your diet, right? Things that are going to help you. You can even put Gatorade mix. I don't give a fuck what you do something, but that's how I save money on water. I'll never buy a small water bottle because like the Smart Water, all these things, they cost like $4 now somewhere.
Oh yeah. No,
I'll just get the cheap 1 gallon one. I'll put some electrolytes in it, and I'm smarter than the Smart Water now because I save money and I also reused it for 5 days. So I'm making a profit because saving money is making money. And then I add BCAAs, so my body's going to heal better.
Yeah. I was just saying how society and companies have.
Oh yeah. They have though, but they have definitely.
The shitty food is cheap and the healthy food is a little bit more priced. And it's like, holy shit, of course, a lot of people are going to go out there and be like, well, I want to save my buck. So I'll have a fucking quarter pounder or the fucking dollar menu instead of having a fucking salad.
Exactly. And it's not fun to say like I was in the Navy, right? I was trying to bulk up. I was fucking poor as shit, whatever. I had times where I would go to the nearest store and get those bagged tunas, you know what I'm saying? Lemon pepper bagged tuna, and I'd get a bunch of plastic forks and spoons and I'd eat those. I'd drink a protein shake because I didn't know much. So I just got a protein shake. And then I had ate some rice or a Subway sandwich for dinner. Like I didn't have a lot of money, but I made do, just being like, I have really good, I would say I have a different perspective than I used to have because I have been in times where I didn't have a lot of money. So I get a better perspective on how to save money. I also was around drug dealers for a good portion of my life. So I know what a good decision and a bad decision are without my emotion involved. So I sit there and I'm like, well, how do we make the best profit in this situation for me? And it's always been saving money. So I'll find the most effective, cheap route to do anything. But sometimes you just got to spend that buck and get that better food. Salmon's expensive. Good wild caught sockeye salmon is expensive. Thankfully, I live in the Northwest and they be just fishing that shit out at Pike Place Market. I can go down there and get a nice fish and I'll fillet it myself. Bastard. But like people in Las Vegas can't say that. People in Hawaii can't say that. A lot of people in different areas, and especially if your cost of living is super affordable and they don't pay much in your area, like in Louisiana, Missouri, other states like that, their minimum wage is shit compared to ours over here. And it's really sad. Because we have a booming economy over here in Seattle for big companies, big, tall skyscrapers. Unfortunately, 2020 diminished a lot of small businesses. But for the most part, everybody over here is they have a lot of options. They have really expensive central markets. They go walk in and the people are smiling that work there because they're getting paid a fuck ton. And you have access to great quality food at an expensive price, but they still can do that because they have the money. A lot of people don't have money. And so I always tell them, find an alternative. If it is more expensive to diet for the cheap. I've done lean ground beef. I've done the chicken route. I've done the turkey route. I've done the tuna route, cod route. There's a lot of expensive ones out there and a lot of cheap ones out there. I always recommend finding out what works for you, making a plan. Don't stray from it, and you will find money at the end of the month to fuck off and go see a movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
It just comes down to research and finding good decisions, man.
Yeah. No, I've been doing that. I've been eating healthy and whatnot, and I have no problem with my finances. That's something that I've also learned from this past year of finances. I was just saying from, the obesity, I feel like just, I don't know. I think they just make excuses to be okay and eat whatever they want. And
damn right.
okay,
damn right.
Their organs are hurting from that most likely, but now they're accepting it. Now, at the same time, if you could walk upstairs and not breathe heavy, cool. Okay, yeah. You do that. If you want to accept your body like that, okay, I don't care. Yeah, I'm not in perfect fucking shape.
There's someone out there that's gonna love you, but I have very personal standards for the people who, like, I have a lot of standards for me and my wife. We have it's kind of like an unspoken thing between us, but we have like standards for who we want to look like. I told her when I met her, I want us to be with somebody who has a sense of pride in herself. My wife had she tore her knee in like 3 places at the beginning of dude, I just had a time hit me in the face. But like, sorry about that. I think it was January of 20. Yeah, January 2020. She tore her knee in three places. Everything. Only thing she didn't get replaced is a new knee, like a new kneecap. And they killed her. I don't know why. We have great insurance, but they killed her rehab with the PT and all these things. And she was hurting all year, but she still ate healthy. She still. We still got a home gym here for her for Christmas. Yeah, she does the treadmill. She'll be in tears, but she takes steps to strengthen her body around her injuries so she can maintain her body. I look at my wife and I say, here's somebody who has every excuse to say, oh, I'm fucked up. My knee's fucked up. They messed up my surgery. I didn't heal right. The nerve block. I can't feel my leg still. I'm having a bunch of issues. Sometimes my knee gives out, but she still applies the pressure. There's a lot of people, another extreme comparison. There's Navy SEALs who lose legs, who still climb to mountaintops because they want to feel and they want to be in shape. There's people in wheelchairs that are into fitness. There's people who jazzercise and they're in great shape. There's, I remember when I was growing up, Carmen Diaz, she was in Cosmopolitan and they asked her how she stays in great shape. She says she has sex all the time. And you know what? There's a bunch of, if anything, just have sex a bunch. There's a bunch of ways to stay in great shape. And people will always look for an excuse. It's better to not to close your mouth and not have an excuse and just say, I love myself if you love yourself. If not, do something about it. And you can, and you should. There's plenty of people out there that are going to support you. I'm never going to ever not tell somebody I have time for them if they come to me with a question. So that's what I do. I always support other people's goals because it's special when that happens. It's happened to me. My wife's always supported my goals. Her mom's always supported my goals. My little sister's always supported every single one of my goals. That feeling of the love given to you is something that it can be replaced and shared with other people in life. Like if you brought a question to me tomorrow, I would try to answer it the best I can. If I don't know it, I'm going to find someone who does, and I'm not going to stop until I'm going to stop what I'm doing and find it. That's how we should all support each other. So that I think a big issue is not a lot of people are willing to help other people get in shape that they want. And I'm not saying like a certain standard of shape, but in a shape they like to see in the mirror. Yeah. And that's what we're missing from society is that helping spirit. And then we can not call it fat shaming. Then we can call it, I don't know, bodybuilding, fit chasing. You're chasing the body you want to have. That is the type of acceptance that I want to fucking see. I don't want to see people saying, oh, it's okay to be fat. No, it's not okay to be fat. It's okay to be happy with who you are. It's not okay to be skinny. It's not okay to be skinny either. It is okay to be okay with who you are. And it's also okay to say, I don't like this and let's fix it. Yeah. There's a lot of bullshit excuses, bro. You know that. There's a lot of bullshit excuses.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's definitely a thing that I've like, I had an excuse not to go to the gym. I was like, whatever. I'm too tired and stuff. But I wasn't driven to that. But with jiu-jitsu, I'm like, shit. Like yesterday, I got home from work. I was fucking, I took a nap because I was like way too fucking tired. I was like, I just need, maybe I'll just take a nap and miss one day of it. I was like, no, fuck that. Get out of bed and fucking just, I tried some pre-workout. It gave me a little bit of a boost and I got through it. And afterwards I was thankful that I went to the gym that time. And
yeah.
like, yeah, everybody can have an excuse, but you just gotta get over those excuses and stuff.
Because you're not going to be the best version of yourself in anything. You're not going to do good at school. You're not going to do good at anything. You're not going to do good in your relationship if you half-ass your way through it or give the minimum effort. If you give anywhere near 100% of your effort to anything, it's going to have a great amount of success. And you're reaping the benefits of that. You drag your ass to jiu-jitsu. It sucks. It sucks starting something new and learning, especially in a contact environment like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna get choked out. You're gonna be putting holds. Your ears are gonna be fucking red hot the whole time. Like I've done a few different martial arts disciplines, and it's always been difficult for me, that learning curve when I start. But once you get started, the sky's the limit. There's always a new way to. I've taken down. One of my big highlights is I took out some dude who's a fucking there was a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. He was talking shit, and I was like, okay, let's get into this, dude. Because I didn't know shit about jiu-jitsu, but I knew how to not get beat up by people that are bigger than me from high school. So that's a win. And I got to actually put this dude to sleep, and that was a big win for me personally, because I don't have a lot of experience, but I tried. And when you go and try something new, even though you don't know what it's about or anything like that, you're gonna either fail or succeed. But if you don't try, you always fail.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah. It's always been a big issue with obesity in my families. It's always been a big issue with being skinny in my families. I haven't had that issue. I've always been focused on my appearance, not in a I need to look this certain way, but I have standards for myself to be presentable. I want to look good in a suit. I don't want to have a gut. I'm never gonna have a gut. Never. I'm always gonna have a six pack. I'm always gonna have a small waist to shoulder ratio. I'm always gonna have just be presentable in my own way. Now, if somebody thinks that it's okay to be presentable in whatever way they think fit, I don't judge them, but you got to take care of your fucking health, because Jesus Christ, America is looking like shit. If we got attacked right now, hope we wouldn't. But a lot of these gunners, AR-15 is not going to mean shit when you're holding still. If you're not moving, you're getting shot at.
Yeah. But that's a lot of, also, like, America has become one of the fattest nations, like,
ever.
Look at China. They're fucking doing something. Like, a lot of nations could kick our fucking asses if they came over here. There would not be any there would be Red Dawn, except it would be over way too fast, and we're not in a good shape. When we went on deployment and we went over to England, holy shit, I didn't see a fat person in the streets, man.
Ever.
I saw a lot of women wearing, spandex, and I loved that. Holy shit. But I was like, I was over there, I was like, do they not have any fat people over here? Yeah, I know they do, but it's not like over here to where you just walk in the mall and you could see some people that their bellies go way past their belt line or something like that. Now, granted,
I've seen something very crazy as well, and I saw some, like, I actually definitely didn't see any person overweight in that area at all. Singapore was a little bit looser on the standards, but when we went over to places like Bahrain, not at all. And then I definitely didn't see anybody over. Like, a huge thing right now that I've noticed is a major increase in a lot of Asian people and Pacific Islander people. They're really into fitness. I see the gym is just full of them, and I think that's really special to me personally, because one, I love every single race, and I love fitness. So when I see people and they building a culture around it, it's really cool to see people create culture through fitness. People loving each other by supporting each other, saying, "Come on, do one more rep." They're cheering people on. The gym is more than just sweat and sweaty balls and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
and there's like a lot of issues with people that are like creepers in the gym and shit like that, and I try to look out for it when I see it. But other than that, there's a lot of positivity.
Thing. Exactly, there is a positivity, and if somebody's heavy set and going to the gym and wanting to work out, nobody's going to judge the fuck out of you. And
Ever.
nobody's going
That's
to,
amazing.
yeah. And people are actually going to be like, if I see that, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, hell yeah. Maybe I don't say it verbally because I don't want to be one of those ones that interrupts people during the gym and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not judging. I'm saying, dude, that's hell yeah, good job. And nobody, I wish people weren't afraid to go to the gym or be self-conscious about it. Like, I'm self-conscious. Yeah, I can't fucking bench what that dude's benching. I'm over here with my little fucking tiny weights and shit.
Me either, man.
Or like, fuck off, whatever. You're probably like fucking lifting what?
No, I only thing I bench is 225. Like I have my shoulders are really sensitive when I go heavier than that. My shoulders start feeling weird. So I wish I could bench like 400, 500, but it's not happening anytime soon. I can squat, depending on how my knee and back are feeling. 315 is pretty easy for me. But I'm deadlifting 405. I'm doing rack pulls with like 500, 600 pounds, pretty easy. So
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's all about, and I'm doing pull downs with like 260, 240, 260 for reps. That's all this took a lot of time to build up. I started with like 60 reps on the pull downs for 20 reps, and I worked my way up from there. It wasn't like an overnight thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, but I just feel like America would kind of be fucked at this point. We're making the PRTs and military standards a whole lot looser now. And
oh goodness, yeah, you want your military to be in good physical form, especially if they're going to fight a fire, drag bodies across the ground, all that stuff. The Navy is definitely having horrible standards, laughing stock.
The Navy is the fattest branch right now, also.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. I'm not in any fucking greatest shape. The best shape I was in the Navy at 165, but that was 6 years ago, and now I'm 200 and trying to get back down to at least 180, 170.
Jiu-jitsu will do it, bro. It'll do it for you, man. As long as you keep eating healthy and drink a bunch of water, you're gonna be on your shit in no time.
It's water and just eating healthy.
Yeah.
But it's shit. I want to be back there, and I'm pressing to get back there. And I want to be in shape. Like, you're an inspiration. Sam Bradford's an inspiration. He's always been a fucking inspiration.
Thank you.
Like, to get back, like get in shape and then surpass that to where, I feel good, as you said, look good in a suit without my gut bulging and stuff. Like, I want to look good and feel good. And it's just, eating and working out, and I want to do that. And, there's inspirations, and it's like, what am I not doing? Oh, I'm not going out there. Like, I've cut video games out. I've only been touching that like one day out of the week, and that's usually Saturday.
Good for you, man.
Every day after work. So some of my friends have kind of been like, hey, where you been? And I'm like, I'm investing my time in something more productive and stuff. Like,
you're living your life, man. A lot of people get wrapped up video games, and that's a huge thing. Like, it's good to play some video games. Yeah, why not? You got to live your life. However, do you want to spend your whole life trying to escape your life, like in a fake reality on the internet? Not really. I want to spend some time doing it. Yeah,
but spending that, and that's something that we don't get back, is time. And what is going around and shooting those people on Call of Duty, like, cool, you got a digital reward or something like that. That's not going to transfer to the real life.
Yeah, I'm trying to have money. I'm trying to have money, more guns,
exactly.
More. I want to buy more bullets and shit to shoot at not people, because I'm a target. I'm a target practice shooter. I want to do more running gun, and to do a running gun, you need to have a lot of ammo.
Yeah, so, and that's more productivity instead of just wasting your time.
I practiced not dying for a majority of last year, and now I'm practicing not hurting people even more, because people are getting worse and worse in our society. People are being more rude to each other, and it's kind of hard for me to swallow that frustration of something that needs to be corrected. If someone has an attitude problem and they're being rude to other people, I'm the first one to be like, hey man, stop being a dick to that person. What you think it's cool to be a bully? Yeah, you want to get fucked up? Is that your goal? I'm the first one to talk like that to somebody who's a bully.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to become a bully just because I have a short temper, which is one of the worst things you can be, is turned into something you hate.
Yeah. Do you have a short temper? I don't see that on you.
I've worked on putting on this face of positivity for a long time, and I think it has done a great job actually working, man.
Good.
I really think I've done a great job of cooling my temper, but it comes out in times like dealing with of small issues. It was kind of hard to transition out of the Navy because I was so obsessed with getting rid of issues and making my day smoother, more efficient.
Yeah.
That anything a hair out of place, I used to freak out, and I wouldn't call it anxiety.
How was that transitioning?
It was tough, dude. A lot of yelling on my part, a lot of frustration. I quit smoking cigarettes. I got in the gym. A lot of depression issues that I didn't know how to talk about.
You said you quit smoking?
Yes, I quit smoking cigarettes
During your transition?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, that's a positive, dude.
Yeah. Well, that was one positive.
Yeah.
I became a better husband.
Nice.
Took me a while. I became a better brother to my sister. I became a better son to my mom. I'm still working on that one specifically. We haven't had the best relationship, and I'm trying to figure that out. But I just tried to really reinvent myself in the Navy. I'm hopefully, from your experience with me, you always saw me walking fast, saying hi to some people as I go by, doing this, a lot of yelling, get this done. We need to get this done. Good job, everybody. I was very animated because I wanted to make myself known. I wanted everybody to see this is the person that I want to be. And that didn't like leave me when I left the Navy. I came back home, immediately got into trying to be a fitness personality, a positive local fitness entity where I encourage other people. I'm nice to people. And I show them that you can do whatever everybody else says you can't. From fat to fit, fit to fat, you have to show up. You have to show up. You got to do the work. You got to diet, and there's no easy way around it.
Yeah.
So that was my transition, was turning from this person in the Navy who had all these accolades and like is really known by people in the White House and shit like that, or the people in the Pentagon. And now I'm just this normal person who's a Navy vet, likes guns, cares about his family, cares about his community. But it took me a really long time to get to that. I spent a lot of days not liking the person I saw in the mirror. Like I talked about earlier, you have to change if you don't like it. So I spent some time avoiding mirrors altogether. I was never one to like flex in the mirror, like, oh, look at me. It was more of, here's what I look like today. Let's see what I look like next week. I've never been a self-centered, kind of egotistical driven person. I've always been focused on just what impact I have on others, because that's more the best currency you have in life, is impact you have on others. I can ask anybody I know for a favor and they'll give me the shirt off their back, even if I didn't ask for it, you know. I would do the same for them. It's just like mutual understanding. But to achieve this person of sharing life with others and trying to be a great son-in-law to my wife's mom, to try to uplift people who didn't have good childhoods, including myself, it was difficult because I didn't know who I wanted to be. I had undealt with grief. I had separation anxiety, leaving all the people that I feel like were my brothers and sisters in the Navy.
Yep.
All the people. Some people felt like my children, even though they were pretty close to my age. I nurtured these people when they lost brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, and they called me their uncle. They called me Uncle Lowry, and it was special for me to have this impact in people's lives, and then to just be ripped away from them in a split second, get on a plane and cut back to a world where I thought I knew everybody, and now I see what I don't like about everybody, was difficult. So a lot of soul searching, a lot of psychedelics, and a lot of healing, but not for the purpose of getting high, but for the purpose of microdosing and understanding how do we heal, and doing research about deep breathing exercises, stuff like that. I spent a lot of time focusing on just being better. I want to start reading more now. When I'm done with bodybuilding, I plan on reading a bunch and doing jiu-jitsu. But right now it's just bodybuilding, and just being a better person, setting myself up financially to have a better future with my children. But my transition out of the Navy was really fucking rocky, man. A lot of the times because of me, because I wasn't ready to transition out of the military. I didn't know I wasn't, but you're never ready for anything.
Yeah,
That's how life is. And if you're scared to step off the ledge, you're never gonna fucking dive in the deep end of the pool and say, "Can I fucking swim or not?" You can learn the idea about it. You can learn the procedures of treading water, but until you do it, you really don't understand how quickly your legs get tired.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. And thankfully I had a friend to help me, my wife. She carried me through almost every year I've known her, man. So a lot of people don't have that, and they end up killing themselves because they fucking fall in that deep depression, and it's hard to get out of it. But I had a wife to pull me out of it, and that's how I got introduced to fitness. I got saved by her. She is my hero. She showed me the way of being proud of who you are in the mirror by putting in the work. And that's just the honest truth, bro. I wish I could say, oh, it was easy. Wish I could say I don't miss friends who have killed themselves. I wish I could say that I didn't cry a bunch and punch walls and kick doors and fucking punch my steering wheel about 100 times every time I pulled in from like literally a 20-hour shift, wiping down tables at a 24-hour restaurant for a fucking chump change. And I didn't. I wish I could say I didn't get in a lot of altercations. I wish I could say my hands haven't been broken. I wish I could say my knuckles aren't fucked up. But I can't say any of that. I can say I tried, and I can say I'm still trying. And I hope that every veteran or person who was in the military, whether you were overseas, you're struggling with the fact that you had to kill children, or you were overseas and you lost a buddy, or whether you just moved boxes in the Navy and you have difficulty doing normal things without freaking out. I hope that everybody is encouraged to keep being persistent, because my wife was the reason that I was persistent. I had a friend, and we are all connected. You and me barely knew each other. We're having a fucking 4-hour conversation so far about how we can be better as humans, about what you did. We're connecting on that level. We're all connected because we all gave a part of our life for this fucking country. And when we remember that, it's not so lonely in that deep, dark fucking part of the universe.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but it was tough though. There were some tough days.
Oh yeah. No, that's awesome. You had your wife there, man. That's awesome. I had my family, and it's good to have somebody. And no man's an island or whatever. You reach out. There's like support groups out there. The VA does have groups. There are veteran ran support groups out there that will help everybody.
All right.
But yeah, no man's an island, and there's support groups out there, whether it be the VA or your community, like Denton County or Tarrant County around me. Well, also Texas has a very big heart for veterans. A lot of stuff here and resources for veterans. So if you're going through that transition, it's good to have somebody. It's good that you had your wife, and that's, as you said, you just go. You just jump in feet first.
And if a lot of people don't, a lot of people are they're hesitant, and then they end up mad at themselves in a bad situation with a job they don't like, or a job that they do like, but they're not happy with the rest of their life. There's always going to be something that you don't like about your life. Only thing you can do is work towards the perfect version of it. And that's why another reason why I disagree with increasing taxes anymore ever. Like, do you know how much fucking taxes I pay? Like, I do a lot of overtime every year, and they tax the shit out of me. And
I thought they weren't supposed to tax overtime.
Oh no, they tax the shit out of my overtime. They tax the shit out of my normal check, because I'm in the bracket that makes over 100,000 a year or whatever. Why would you want to tax the person who's trying to go from? I made $30,000 a year when I was in the Navy, so I have a $70,000 pay increase over the past like 6 years. Why? I think everybody should want to have a major pay increase. Why is it okay for any of us to live on minimum wage? We should all want more money, right? Why increase taxes to make minimum wage less effective. It's like, fuck, we're already fucked. They keep raising taxes, and they raise minimum wage, and then they raise taxes, and then they raise minimum wage. We should be trying to figure out ways to lower taxes, and our representative leadership should be worried about the money that its constituents have. Like I'm supposed to be represented by the government. They shouldn't be telling me we're going to raise taxes again, but only on people that make $400,000 a year. Who do you think cuts my check? You fuck. Who do you think cuts my check?
Oh yeah.
Who do you think cuts my check, man? And when we all look at this, it's good. Maybe it is good to tax the rich. I don't know why it would be good to tax the rich. I want my family to make a lot of money, so I can choose where my tax dollars goes. I can choose where I want to donate. No one should tell me I need to donate to somebody, especially to gender studies in other countries. You got me fucked up. Sorry.
That fucking COVID relief package, and we barely got fucking crumbs.
500 pages. It was 540 pages or some shit like that. You know, a standalone bill. I'm all good with government having arguments and figuring things out. I'm good with things taking a long time. That's how the government works. That's why I don't like bigger governments. That's why I would like a smaller government, or the one we have now with actual leaders in it. But either way, man, when you have a bill, it should be just a singular standalone bill. There shouldn't be a bunch of fucking extra parts in there, and we shouldn't be giving money to other countries when we have literally people who are on the streets, who are not drug infested fucking termites, not meth heads going around robbing houses, not people out there shooting up in the streets, and not people that try to stab me, Eddie Lowry, personally with a needle in the streets when they out of dope. Not those people. We have people that are homeless veterans who didn't have a program, came back from Vietnam, don't know how to be normal, and they're sleeping on the streets to this day. And these people have been on the streets. Let's bring our community members in. The homeless guys that are down the street from me, they're members of my community still. If they're not fucking tweakers, that's a person who's a member of my community. What am I going to do? I'm going to give him some money. I'm going to bring him a water bottle, bring him something. Yeah. Because he's a member of my community, not because he's a homeless person. Any member of my community who's struggling, we should have the opportunity to help. It's hard to do that when they're taking my money away. I could have told my mom to take 6 months off of work so she didn't die, or, she didn't almost die last year because of Rona. She did. Maybe I could have gave them half, like, my paychecks for a few months and stopped them from, I could have saved her boyfriend's life. I couldn't do that because I got my ass taxed. I get taxed as shit. I try to help my family as much as possible, but it's hard to do that when they're increasing taxes. And it's not people that make over 400,000 that are getting taxed. Like, I'm getting taxed up the ass right now. So
Yep. Because they're gonna punish you for fucking doing good and striving and getting out of there. They're gonna punish you because you have to share what you've gained and what you've achieved. You have to share that with somebody that doesn't want to do shit.
It's hard to increase your skills in life. It's hard to be to set your family for success. I want to create more residual income. I want to do better in the stock market. I want to be a productive member of my society. I'd like to take a vacation and not need to collect my vacation check. I'd like to take a vacation. I really would. And not have to take my vacation check and put it towards making sure I'm debt free because I fucked up. Like, I'd like to do a lot of things, but the best thing I can tell anybody is if you're leaving the military, really think about your finances first. The first 3 years you get out of the military, you should want to do nothing but make as much money as possible so you can get assets like trucks and cars and shit, motorcycles, because I know you love motorcycles, man.
Well, there's no money in motorcycles, man. It's just those things just like lose their value. I wouldn't say get a motorcycle. I'd say
never mind, not motorcycles, but guns, a house that you actually own, not the bank owns and you're making payments on, house that you actually own, and stop renting and stop going to living in an apartment. Stop living in a studio for double the price of what it should be. Find out how to set yourself up for success and find friends to do it with, and raise up your group. I have a couple of friends that I'm focused on them. They're moving to the same city as I am, and so we can have our children grow up together and we can be great as a collective and give them good values, keep everybody safe, and talk about our rights and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
We should all be trying to do that as Americans, especially as veterans, because we know how precious time is.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's good advice. Definitely if you're in the military, be smart with your money and put money aside. You don't need that goddamn charger that you're not going to be able to afford when you get out of the military. Like,
Oh,
holy
9%
shit.
APR.
Yeah, shit. Save your money, get a beater, make investments and wise decisions. Like,
Yeah. You can imagine
holy shit.
if everybody put like 3 paychecks from the Navy in the bank in Tesla or in stocks in Tesla before they left for their deployment, and they come back,
Yeah.
they'd be and don't touch it while they're gone. They'd be
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
happy. They get
Yeah.
pretty happy, and
Shit.
you'd make a substantial amount of money. Or in, I don't know, fucking Ethereum, especially. There's a lot of
Yeah.
ways to make money, and people don't take the time to do it. I wish more would.
When I was in the military, I put $200 each paycheck into TSP, and by the end of 6 years, I had 10 grand. And unfortunately, when the ex-wife fucking left, I had to pull that shit out so I could survive in Florida on my own while going to work and going to school.
But you
just
had
to make
it
back to
because
Texas.
you did that. But you had it
Yeah.
because you took the time to
But
do that.
my savings account right now is just $600 fucking. I am trying to get back in there. I'm paying way more on my vehicle than I need to just so I can get ahead of that.
Mhm.
I have, my apartment. I eat smart and not cheap, but I eat smart. Don't go out to eat, a $20 fucking meal when you can have like a nice meal at home. But, slowly getting that savings back up. I have, fucking $1,500 in acorns that is slowly growing. I have $1,500 in stocks. I have $600 in Doge.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you next. Are you in acorns? Because that's one of the smartest things I've ever heard of doing. A lot of people say don't do it, and I tell them to fuck off because I do it, and I put in like $40 and I don't look at it, and then a couple months later it's $400, and I'm like, oh well, that was easy.
Exactly.
Where did that come from? Fuck it.
It does automatic roundups from your change, which is always good. You want to be doing that on your own. And then $100 at the end of the month. That's what I'm doing right now. And then it invests in stocks. I don't really know that. I've gotten small little dividends from that. I'm like, ooh, nothing major, but it's all money that's coming back. It's all money coming back, and it's money that's growing also. No, fucking do acorns. Acorns, hell yes. And then, not gambling, pay attention, know what you're doing.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. Well, shit, dude. I really, really appreciated talking to you. I got to get to eating my food because I haven't ate shit today. I don't know, my appetite is gone. I've just been sleeping. My freaking back's feeling all weird, but I really appreciate you coming on, man. And I appreciate your insight about how to transition out of the military. I appreciate the conversation talking about obesity because it is a serious issue. I know people talk about what the worst issue I think in the United States is. I think it's 3 major ones. One, we have a government that's no longer functioning.
Yep.
And they are, whether people want to admit it or not, they are taking people's rights from you piece by piece. You know how the best way to defend yourself as a minority is to arm yourself, because the armed society is a polite society. If my neighbors know I got guns, and if they're criminals with guns, they're probably not going to fuck with me. That's just how it is. That's how it goes. Show of force is a real thing. That's why the police. That's why the police show up in so many groups. That's why the military rolls through the South. I think the South China Sea or something like that, where we're in a big argument with them. Yeah, that's why we do these things. We have show of force and show of power are two different, two important things that are really going on. But another one is, don't let the government take your rights. The government is not there to help you. They're there to represent you. You have to help yourself, and the police respond to things, right? Yeah. So you got to think about, how am I going to keep my family safe on my own? Because they're part of the government as well. They're part of the city. I don't know about you, but the city of Seattle really sucks when it comes to everything. I don't know what police officers are going to work there in the next 2 years. I think they're all going to quit, man. And it's scary, scary thought. Oh, yeah. Scary thought, especially me. I work down there, but it's really important that people take a look at their rights and take a look at the things they got going on in our country. And also, your body is the third one. your body is a huge thing. If you cannot grab your child and crawl on the floor while holding them out of a house fire, you might lose your life or your child's life horribly. And it, or you can't run away to deter a threat, someone trying to kidnap your kid. We all should be in great shape so that we can stop somebody from stealing somebody else's kid or our own. And that's one of my big focuses. But it was great talking with you, man. I really like about, you know, you talking about going through jujitsu and how it helps you, you know, fight depression. That's a huge thing. A lot of people don't know what helps them with depression. I use fitness. You use that. I think, you know, whatever form is good. Even jazzercise is the coolest one I ever heard of. Like I jazzercise it. I'm like, I fuck with it. That's sick. Good for you, man. It's important to just find what your niche is, man.
Exactly, man. And I appreciate this opportunity to come out here and chill, talk, and have these conversations and getting your insight, talking to you about transitioning and your bodybuilding. And dude, it's good talking to you and
well,
your
man.
view on guns as well.
Oh, well, it's simple. You know, criminals don't follow laws.
Oh yeah.
Criminals got guns, so you should too. It's that simple. Don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. It's a pretty good idea. I wish we spent more time talking in the Navy, man. I wish I could have just learn more about you then, because you're a great dude. You got a great soul, great heart, great head on your shoulders as well. And your cat loves you.
Likewise, dude. Don't ever stop being who you are. You're a good light in this fucking dark world.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for listening in. Hope this podcast was as exhilarating as it was for me. Thank you, everybody, as always, for your feedback. This is a feedback conversation starting podcast. Our goal here is to create a topic for you to talk about, create something that makes you feel comfortable talking about, maybe something that you're suppressing emotionally. We want you to open up. We want you to talk to somebody if you're going through depression, anxiety, if you're thinking about hurting yourself or others. You please do reach out to somebody. If not a professional person, reach out to me, because we can find you some help. There's never a point where you should feel like you want to hurt yourself. It's not okay for that to happen, and I'm here to help if anybody else is not. Also remember that you can always find me and we can talk about it on Facebook at Eddie Lowry Jr. is my name, and on Instagram at This Is Eddie Lowry. Please do reach out. I will not hesitate to respond. And let's talk about something. If you didn't like someone I said, if you thought I said some bullshit, call me out on it. Let's talk about this. Change my perspective. I'd love to hear why I'm wrong or why I'm right. It's not about about being right. It's about us connecting and breaking down these boundaries that separate us, because no one knows everything. So let's talk about it.